insufficient ore supply, it seems. Well, that's rather odd. This most certainly is a compressed yellow belt. And that would have to mean... Oh well, it's close to all of them. Yeah, well, I think that's something that we already saw coming quite a ways away. The fact that we don't quite have enough iron to fully supply what we want to be doing here. Oh well, I guess we'll just have to wait a bit longer for our inserter research. Alright, that's more of that. I think I'll just quickly do landfill so that we can get to work on some of those puddles. I'll also want to lay a bit of concrete over at the stations. Oh, and there we go. Already done. Oh, and more logistics slots. The yearning of the community has been heard. We also do have... Where is it? Flamethrower... No. Didn't they add a flamethrower turret? Flamethrower turret damage bonus, yeah. Well, as you probably know, I've never been a big guy for military stuff in this game. I'd very much like to set some forests afire. Laser and gun turrets. Well, I don't know. Well, we have flamethrower researched, and right after flamethrower comes flamethrower damage. But you would suppose that having a flamethrower attack is kind of the prerequisite for doing flamethrower turrets. Oh well. Who am I to know? Alright, let's just go all the way over here. Why not? Take care not to get squished here. And we're out of concrete. Yeah, the situation with iron is probably something we need to be dealing with very shortly. Also, it doesn't appear to be a problem with just... Yeah, I think it's something to do with the fact that they changed the inserter stack size bonus. We aren't unloading... well, no, if it wasn't for us not unloading fast enough, then there would be a queue here. But there isn't one. We'll see. We shall see. For now, we're just paving the world for a few moments. Oh. Living the dangerous life. There we go. Now they also made it possible, as I read, and we're certainly going to have that at some point, that you can connect the circuit network to gates and signals and make it so that you have kind of like a crossing, a passenger crossing for, well, not getting squished by trains every time you try to cross over a rail by foot. So that's certainly something that would help. Not that that's ever been a problem here. Alright, so I think that should do a little bit over here. And then I wonder if they did just take the recipe from the landfill mod. Yeah, 20 stone. Used to build grass. Alright, let's try it. It's only 0.5 seconds, so I suppose we just walk over to the stone smelter and grab a couple stones. Right, show me what you got. Why is this? Oh. Oh, does this mean... Oh, hang on. Oh, let's find something... No. So if I control-click the landfill, it places in... yeah, it does the same thing with concrete. Oh well. Well, that's quite a large area, though. Oh. Ah, so it is one landfill per tile of water. No, that's fine. Stone's really not a resource we're usually short on. Let's just handcraft some of those. We'll set up an automated system later. Alright, there you go. And now water's gone. Oh, I just noticed. Yeah, that was also a thing with the original landfill, that offshore pumps didn't check whether they stayed in water. And now we have an offshore pump that, well, suppose it's just a water tower now. I mean, sure, why not? Right, I think that's as far as I want to go right now. Ah, landfill was finished. Let's start... Yeah, all the rest is mainly just inserter, just military stuff. So let's get to work on that next capacity bonus. So how many, I wonder... Yeah, this is going to be a pain, doing this without auto trash. Oh well. Alright, so let's have a little test, maybe somewhere where we have a bit of space. Let's go down there. Seem to be having some frame rate issues. OBS is also giving me a bit of flack about encoding overhead, so maybe I'll need to take a break for a few minutes soon. Check what's up with that. But I think we're fine for now. Alright, let's test the following. Let's have... Right, how do we do stack inserters? We need advanced circuits for that. Well, they said it is expensive. Well, compared to regular inserters, it's definitely expensive, but I think it's still manageable. Right, let's get a couple of them. Also a bit of iron. Yeah, we will automate these at some point. But right now I just want to get a quick idea of how they work, how well they work, to be precise. Alright, let's start here. Let's say we have... Let's start with 2, shall we? So we have 2 smart insert, 2 stack inserters. Jesus, they look like smart inserters. This is gonna get me a couple of times. And these look like express inserters from Bob's Mods. That's certainly gonna get me a couple times too. Right, let's just put humongous amounts of inserters back here, so we definitely get this belt clean. Alright, now let's just test this with concrete. Right, so that's not enough. What about 4 of them? Oh. Right. Let them have it their way. I'll take all this concrete out again and have another clean test. Yeah, that's not quite enough. We still have... I wonder why the bottom ones are producing less... fewer gaps, I mean to say. Oh no, it's the exact same. Alright, then let's try with 6. If I can manage to actually place them correctly. There we go. Gimme. And I realized that I could just test this with... Once again, one of the sides is compressed perfectly. And one of them isn't. You know what I'm going to do here is... this, and then loop this whole thing around, so that I no longer have to fiddle with all this manually. Hang on, I want my guys to do this. Yeah, let's do something like that. No, it's not perfect, but it will do. We need a couple more inserters for that. Means we need more iron. This is now... Right, what exactly are we waiting for here? Nope, this is working pretty nicely. So it must just be the sheer amount of stuff we need. After all, it is 800 science packs. Right, what did I come here to do? Iron. Right, so what we'll do is just take all of this off the belts again. Now we'll just have a nice cyclical thing going on here. Okay, so that's apparently not enough as well, but I'm still... Still not 100% certain why there's sometimes these long stretches. Doesn't seem to be totally periodical. Alright, let's try with 4 on each end. It's still not enough. You know, I thought they meant to... Well, no, actually they couldn't have fixed it. I'm being a little incoherent here, I suppose, but what I'm thinking here is that they meant to fix it, that the inserters couldn't insert into belts, into these little nooks here. But obviously, how would they fix that? It's inherently something that's not fixable. So what we'll do is try this another way. And by another way, I mean not having the base bots take away all of our stuff. Can we go somewhere where they don't have coverage? Down here. Oh yeah, what? Screw that. Alright, so we'd want to have 2 wagons. And on one hand, we would like to unload them as quickly as possible, but there's really no point in unloading them more quickly. I was just about to say that there's no point in unloading them more quickly than we have them putting their stuff onto belts, but that's not entirely true, because we still need some time for the new train to arrive at the station. So ideally what we want to have is a faster train unloading than we have a belt unloading, and then enough belt unloading so that we have full compression on what? 2 output belts, I think. I think that should be something that can be achieved, should it not? Alright, so we have 6 inserters available for us. So we need to be able to unload quickly enough with 6 inserters, and 6 inserters must be able to fully compress 1 blue belt. That's our situation. So let's try to model exactly that. So this up here is going to be the train wagon. You know what, let's even get a train wagon, so that I don't have to do all this manually all the time. If I can remember where I put them. There you go. I'm still not entirely certain whether all of the logistics conditions that we put up in the base still work, but one thing at a time, as I said. It's quite natural after a big patch like this that some, if not most, of the base is dysfunctional for a while. Right. Oh, and this is one thing I want to try just real quick. Chill, look at this. Alright, so you can't do... You can even do S-curves, that's nice. You can't do 180 degrees, but you can do 90 degrees, which is a start. Oh, that's great. Me likey. Alright. So let's just do a very crude station here. Oh, this. Have a look at this. This is great. By placing the station, we can immediately see where the potential unloading spots are. Alright, so we just need to put the wagon there, then we'll drive you up all the way to Ueno station. There you go. And then that's that. I really like the opening animation. The opening of the cargo wagon, that is. Alright, so that's gonna be essentially 50% of our setup. Now, one thing that comes to mind would be doing this. No, it wouldn't. I would not be doing this. You can tell that I didn't play Factorio for over a week. It's just instantly fades from memory. Right. So that's this. First question would be, how fast can we unload a full capacity wagon? Now that also changed with 0.13 because they gave cargo wagons a capacity of 40 instead of 30. They also changed the way that weight works, so the weight of wagons. More specifically, you can now, allegedly, I haven't tested this, attach more wagons to a single locomotive before it gets significantly slower, Or in other words, we could have bigger trains with the same amount of speed and the same number of locomotives.